Hi everybody. This is a review of John Carter, Princess of Mars, Warlord of Mars, and the Gods of Mars. And we're doing the annotated version, pardon me. Let's start with the fact that I read all of the Tarzan books. How is that relevant to the Warlord of Mars? Well, I'll explain to you. They were written by the same guy, Edgar Rice Burroughs. In Tarzan, however, Jane isn't as well developed as Deja Thoris. Yeah. Deja Thoris is not help me, save me, all that jazz. She has a definite character development, character arc, and all that stuff. So don't tell me that Burroughs didn't know how to write ladies, because he did. He just chose not to write Jane. Yeah. Um, it was interesting, to say the least, going over it a second time for this video. I had Mom read it to me originally, and I might do the full experience of the book eventually someday on this channel. But for now, this is just the annotated short version of what was in Warlord of Mars, and a couple interesting facts I found along the way. I found that Burroughs was related to a Southern gentleman in the biographic portion of the book. So I wondered if that was supposed to be his great grandfather or grandfather or whatever that was. I don't know, honestly. And the picture I always had in my mind of Deja Thoris was the Deja Thoris from the Dynamite Comics. So that didn't hurt either. Dynamite Comics, for those of you who don't read comics, which I don't know why you're on my channel. If you don't read comics and have no interest in comics at this point, um, that's kind of what I do. But the Dynamite Comics were an independent company that wasn't quite Marvel, wasn't quite DC, and yes, Marvel or Disney tried to make a Warlord of Mars movie, but it failed. I would love to see the second half of this become a movie. Um, because if you take it in acts like I did, I had to take it in acts because some of the stuff that's going on in my personal life right now. Parts of book 2 was kind of hard to get through when they started describing the makeup of Mars and all the people who live there and all that stuff. But I didn't even think about that the first time. The first time, it was just a great fun experience. And I still think it was a great fun experience, but I found it interesting how the green men wait their whole entire lives and go down this river, and then all of a sudden it's all a lie, basically. Um, I couldn't see them putting that in a Disney film, which doesn't surprise me. Burroughs Inc. tried to go out on their own now, and make their own movie. As far as I'm aware, they're still doing that. Um, yeah, I still like Tars Tarkus. I totally forgot about his son because the princess and John eventually have a son. His name his name was Carthoris. Um, again, he really wasn't that remarkable. He was kind of like Jack or Korak from the Tarzan series, but he might be, I don't know how to put it. He was kind of, it might just be cut and paste. He might have been working through some stuff at the time, trying to make his characters more exciting, because there were like 12 of these, and the book I read only covered the first 3. But yeah, they were good books nonetheless. Like I said, it deeply covered the politics. If you told me it was some kind of social allegory, like the Lord of the Rings is, how the ring falls into Mount Doom, I'd totally believe it because, like I said, with the white men, with the River Is and all that stuff, I'd totally buy it because if it was if it was a commentary on like religion, I would totally buy that. Burroughs was smart enough that he he would have hidden it in plain sight. Or and Edgar Rice Burroughs had a very fascinating life too. If that was like a commentary on his life, I'd find that just as believable. Maybe he was working through some stuff, or I don't know. But anyway, and if if you watched my Wednesdays with one of the other YouTube stars here on YouTube, you know my opinion on life elsewhere. I personally believe if there is a face on Mars, the the probability of it being like John Carter or somebody, I would totally buy that too. So, um, again, the fees the feasibility of it, it's definitely a possibility. Not gonna say one way or the other. I I I wasn't gonna even discuss the face on Mars on this book review because, quite frankly, they didn't even know about that back then. It was just something our satellites found. Um, yeah, I liked how Burroughs was kind of ahead of his time and predicted solar energy, stuff like that. If you're talking about technology, though, yeah, Burroughs definitely had a decent idea. I mean, if you've seen the movie, you've seen what the ships are supposed to look like. That part they got right. They didn't get Woola right. Woola, if you want to go to that specifically for that character, I would go with the those Dynamite comics. Again, they had a wonderful representation of Woola. Um, the Woola in the movie was kind of more like a cat, and I didn't like that. As a fan of Edgar Rice Burroughs, if you all are fascinated by my review, which I don't know, this is it, uh, it was fun, but let's be honest, it took me an awful long time to come out with. Um, I will review the Dynamite comics if you so want, but for now, I have other books I want to read. I'd like to finish book 4 of that series too. So if you all are curious to know what happens after John kisses the princess and becomes Warlord of Mars, essentially, which is the name of the series, let me know. I know I kind of went off on a little tangent there, but again, thanks for sticking with me. That is my basic thoughts on the first 3 books of Warlord of Mars, a little bit of the movie, and how developed they are versus the Tarzan characters. And until next time, one more thing. One more thing. I did like that they had a video on this on Extra Credits history of how they actually thought they discovered the canals of Mars. If you're all curious about the scientific effect of why, Extra Credits did a great video. It has something to do with your eyeball. Um, Go check it out. Hi, I forgot something. Dealing with Warlord of Mars. Um, I I felt I should make this clear. I don't think that I think more likely Burroughs based it on his grandfather than they did um an actual John Carter. I think I could be wrong. Who knows? There, like I said before, but um, being that I've based characters around my um family, it's fun. It's a kind of an inside joke between you and them. Yes, I think if John were real, he'd be buried in in the face on Mars. But like I said, I don't think he is. And the Dynamite Comics covered a lot of stuff pertaining to the Warlord of Mars. So again, if you're interested in at all about Warlord of Mars, the comic book, I'll do a review on that. But um just in case, there was like a bunch of spin-offs. Burroughs was clearly a very passionate writer. Dream big, kids. That's all I gotta say on that topic. Covers the end of Barsoom. Gotta find them out. What is with me and not seeing the mouse today?